We are live. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Sweetie, is that me with Babu? Babu. Welcome, welcome. You are welcome. It's a great day. It's been raining cats and dogs. Like the heavens poured out the rain. Welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. Let me invite you. I'll not invite you to send. I'll just send you. You are welcome. You're welcome. It's a great day to be alive. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, so good to have you here today. You are welcome.
Welcome back again.
Yeah, welcome back again.
Sincerely.
Welcome back again.
Sincerely welcoming back again.
Network is cold.
Sincerely, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So good to have you. So good to be here.
Affected connection, and it was just so terrible that you can imagine I was using backup with backup and I had that issue while I was
that's the thing. It happens like that sometimes. But we move. Such is sincerely we have to.
Yeah. Welcome. How are you today? How are you enjoying the rain?
I'm good. I'm good.
The rain is not making you so cold.
Yeah, today, funnily enough, I woke up. I don't want to say I woke up with the wrong side of bed, but I woke up with that strange feeling of cold. I have so much to do, but I don't feel like doing anything. I'm sure we've all experienced that at a time or two when you have tons of things to do, but God, is there any way that this cup will pass me by? Just because you just when you have stuff to do, and but at the end of the day we show up strong for that matter. We show up,
Yes, we show up strong. I think it was yesterday that I was in that
seriously,
and we show up strong. We are already shaking the fire.
I guess and that's what many coaches and all of that will tell you that showing up sometimes doesn't necessarily mean that you are feeling excellent about it. Sometimes you are under the weather, other times you're stressed, other times you are tired, sometimes you are near frustrated. But when you realize that what you are chasing, right, is bigger than just you. The dream that you are chasing, whatever it is you are chasing, is bigger than just you as a person. You just dust off your feet and you come out. You just show up. You find a way. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. You're welcome, everyone. So I was not gisting with our guest, but it won't be nice if I don't introduce our guest. Welcome to the Millionaire Teacher Show. And we are on my journey, my story, series where we get educators to come on and talk about their journey and their story. See, it's very, very important that we get to learn from other people's journeys and stories.
Absolutely.
When we hear other people's experiences, it helps shorten our own work and work so that we'll achieve more in lesser time, because they have gone through all that process to give us the experience that we need to achieve more in lesser time. And also, it would also help enlighten us and give us better perspective to the things that we do, or on how to navigate the things that we do. So today we have a guest with us, no other person but the jolly teacher herself, who is a very, very fun person. And I would like to read her bio so that we just get right into it. I know she has a lot to share with us in her own journey, and I know that you all have a lot to learn from it. So let me just quickly read her bio. The jolly teacher, Nnadi Mercy, fondly called the jolly teacher, is a certified teacher, a literacy instructor, and fun-based learning expert with over 8 years of experience working in and out of the classroom in a variety of roles such as curriculum development, teacher mentorship, home-based learning expertise, and classroom tutor. So you can see that we have a lot to learn from her. She is dedicated and experienced educator who has a passion for making learning exciting, who is ready for fun. And she holds a bachelor's degree in biology education, is a certified early childhood development educator, and earned a leadership certificate from the prestigious business school. She specializes in teaching children between ages 3 to 12. That's for pre-K to K2. She teaches numeracy, literacy, science, and phonics. Wow. Her philosophy is fun learning and implementing, which has earned her accolades for her work. Fun learning, fun learning, fun learning. That's all I'm hearing. Fun learning. We're going to have so much fun today. And as such, she was the second runner-up. She won the second runner-up award for the World Teachers Day Challenge by Light Foundation. We've not heard of Light Foundation. Go and check them out. They do a lot of things related to teachers, right? She was also listed as one of the 10 teachers to look out for in 2023. And a brand, Jolly Teacher, is mentioned on the Teachers Directory list for 100 teachers to follow on Instagram in 2023. If you are not following her, you are doing yourself out. So make sure you follow her. She's been listed as the 100 teachers to follow on Instagram in 2023. She's a passionate fun believer whose teaching instructions are multi-sensory to meet the learning styles and needs of our learners. She believes that every child will learn when lessons are presented with a child-friendly and fun approach. She is the founder of Learn to Learn Foundation, an initiative started from passion to see children, especially in rural communities of Africa, love school and yearn to learn. Like the name says, yearning to learn. Aside teaching, she enjoys the game of chess and helps children and adults develop their critical, strategic, and problem-solving skills through chess. In all she does, she ensures to incite, impact, and inspire learners and individuals within a sphere of influence. Now, please, with a very loud round of applause, let's give welcome to our guest for the day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so I will start with the game of chess. science teaching, you enjoy the game of chess, and you have children and adults. I can remember when I brought on a chess instructor to the reading club to help the children learn how to play chess, because chess is also a mind game that helps build on their critical thinking and all that. And I saw how excited the children were. Please, can you tell us about your journey into playing chess and helping children with it?
Yes, so I'll say that, you know, the game was one, so let's say the skill of playing the game was one skill that I would say privileged to learn, right? So my previous place of employment, it was on one summer program we had. You know, one of the features of the program was, you know, chess. Learning to play chess was one of the features of the summer holiday program for summer school, as some people call it. So we had an instructor come on board to teach the children, and I took great interest, right? I could have just sat back down and just said, well, it's not my business. But I took great interest because I've seen, you know, this is one game I've seen a lot of very, should I say, top people or very influential and powerful people in industry. And I don't just mean the education sector, like in top industries, politics and all of that play. And, you know, they keep attesting to the fact that it's a game of the mind, right? So if I just wanted to be in that space where, okay, I want to actually know what this game is about. What makes it so attractive or so secluded, should I say exclusive to some people? You know, like the game of chess is not really, except now that, you know, schools are bringing it on board. It wasn't really a game that tons of people took part in. So, but I just wanted, okay, so fun fact, I love unconventional things, right? So I just wanted to learn it, and when I learned it, I really enjoyed it. I like that it's very tactical. It's not I always say, I don't like games where I just have to guess through, or, you know, it's based on luck. I like that you can plan to win. You can be intentional about winning from the very first move. And because the game is more or less like life in general, right? You know, having backup plans, having a plan for your plan and all of that, putting plans in place to succeed, to hit your target and all of that. So it resonated with me. I enjoyed it, and I just wanted, you know, more kids, because I just felt like a lot of children, you know, in schools, they lack this problem-solving skills, which makes them frightened when they come across situations in classroom. You hear a child say, "Oh, this task is so hard, I can't do it," and I just didn't like that mindset. Well, I thought to myself, you know, chess is one game that is difficult. If you play chess, you know that chess is a game that you can spend, depending on whom you are playing with, you can spend as long as maybe an hour, depending on how intense, you know. So from 30 minutes upwards to playing the game. So it's not just any type of game. But one thing it does do is help you with problem solving. It helps you to think critically. And I noticed that that's one of the skills that children actually need. Critical thinking will help them when they hit maybe a brick wall trying to solve a problem. They don't go blank and go, "Oh, I can't do it. It's impossible." They look at that impossibility and try to think their way through it. So that was one of the things that kind of intrigued me to chess. Luckily for me, after the program, they actually introduced the chess club in my school, and because of how good I was with it, I was employed to, or should I say employed, not employed to take the children, yeah. And even in my present place of employment, I am also the chess tutor, the chess coach. I tutor a lot of kids privately in chess and all of that. So that's just the backstory. I was privileged to learn it, and I grabbed the skill with both hands, and I've been able to run with it. So that's basically it.
Wow. That's very nice. Okay, so now moving forward, I would just like you to go back and tell us your journey and the story into the teaching space, into the education industry. Because I know a lot of people, I saw that you studied education. Like, what prompted you to study education? What brought you into the space of education?
Okay, so fun fact, and this one is a mind blower, right? I hated school. I know I've said it before. Maybe I've not said it. I don't know. I for somebody who I know tons of people see me and be like, oh, I'm sure she studied to be an educator. Maybe she even had it in mind, had a plan. It's a lie. I didn't even like to go to school. As a child, I can remember cases where I was flogged to school. Not once, not twice. I just school represented a place of, like, I'll call it bondage, a place of restriction for me. And for somebody who is an outgoing, okay, I might not have been outgoing then, but I loved to explore, right? That place, that space just always felt like a prison to me. Then, okay, fast forward to, and I have tons of, just like many children, or maybe many adults now, we know how teaching and school system was now, those days. It's not like now that, we have so many enriching activities. Back then, war. It was a whole lot of serious war, right? Especially if you finished from, and I'm not ashamed to say this, from a public secondary school or public primary school, you know that it was a whole lot of war. So for me, growing up, I didn't like school. And then let's move on maybe like a few years on to my secondary school experience. It was also not good. I can vividly remember my first chemistry class, okay, where we were greeted with K. That was like the first class. Like, this was the first time we were meeting this teacher and he dealt with us. So imagine that experience. Like, all those things alone just made me like this. I didn't even here to make us learn, or did they just want to intimidate us? So okay, so secondary school, it wasn't hatred now. It was more or less like indifference. I didn't really care. I was just going to school. Now, fun fact is I wasn't a dullard. In fact, I was not an average student. I was way above average. So I was doing my best, right? But for me, school then was more or less like a thing of duty, like something I just needed to do, because the world, you have to go to school to get a good job, blah, 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 all of the above. So it was more or less like out of duty. Yeah, it was an act of duty. So I was indifferent. I remember even up until senior secondary 3, where people would be like, oh, I want to go and study this, I want to go and study. I didn't want to go to study in university. That was how bad it was, because let me just go for anything. But, and I would say, few years forward, after finishing secondary school and all of that, something happened along the line. Lost my mom, times were hard, so many of all of those in-between situations that come on board in one's life, and so many things just happened. I found myself, I found that I stumbled into teaching. This was before, my degree program in general, right? So I started teaching in a small school, I just wanted to pass time, take the time off, use the opportunity to wait for admissions and all of that, here and there. And I was just doing that for the meantime. But one thing I knew was that even in secondary school, funnily enough, even while I was dispassionate about school, indifferent and all of that, I can remember vividly in school when, I had to represent my science team for an exhibition. Now, the exhibition wasn't because I was part of the team that designed the project, no. It was just because we were told that they were doing for an exhibition and they needed people to talk about the model project. I think what we made then, we made a flood detector of some sort, like a model flood detector and an alternative cooking gas or something. And then the seniors that made them had already passed out, and were asked to come and talk about the project. And I remember when I spoke, my teacher was like, anybody that hears the way you are speaking will think you were there when they made it. You were a part of the team. You spoke so well, like you are going to be at the forefront of this education. So that was just like a backstory. So in as much as I don't like school, I realized that I love to teach what I know. So if I know something, even when in secondary school, if I read maybe my notes going to maybe for an exam, if I wanted to be sure that I've learned it, I'll teach someone. I'll just explain. I just had that gift of breaking things down. I knew how to break whatever it is I've learned down to the barest minimum for anybody to understand. So even when I stumbled into teaching, I knew that I liked to share what I knew. Let me just say, I hadn't realized I loved to teaching, but I knew that when I know something, I love to share it. Fast forward to when I started teaching, I was was put into, I think it was KG2, what they called KG2, which was like preschool, preschool, pre-nursery, right? But we called it KG then, that's school, and I had to interact with 1 year, let's say 18, 19 months old children, so like, I think the highest pupil I taught at that time was like 3. I didn't teach any child above 3. So imagine being your first time teaching. Of course, you had all those head knowledge. I could read, I could explain, but it was a whole different ball game when you are trying to relate it to children, toddlers. And then suppose our teacher and others like, oh my God, why are they not getting it? Why are they not getting it? I'm teaching. Let's say I'm teaching now. I'm trying to help them with their number sense. I know it seems normally as teachers now, it seems all normal for you, all okay, all straightforward because you are the adults now. Everything seems easy. But you're trying to get a toddler to understand what you know and what you want to share, and it's like rocket science code. You've been talking and it seems like they don't even understand the word you say. So this already now, took me through a process where I started like on my own. So where I taught them the church, but they had a school inside of it, and the proprietress then was pastor's wife, right? But one thing I noticed, I remember there was a particular place we used to store some material. I noticed she took like a Montessori training, so she had a folder in that locker. So whenever we go to pack up stationaries and all of them after the school, after the day, I would just go through the book and be flipping and just that was my initial introduction to Montessori method of teaching, right? I would go through the book and I was just saying, oh wow, so these are ways we do these things. I began to pick insight here and there. But there was a challenge as well. The pay during that period was really bad. And this is being honest. It was really very little, and coupled with all the responsibilities I had at that time. I was a mother of 4, literally. Yeah, I had people I had to fend for as little as I was. So I needed a better source of income. This teaching job is not doing it for me. I was teaching, I was taking about 2 to 3 tutorials at a time, but the money was nothing to write about. And I was like, I need to leave this space. I need to, even if it's a sales job, I would even get. I just don't want to manage myself. And I tendered my resignation and all of that. Told the proprietress, and I started my job search. Meanwhile, I was still waiting for admission by the way, right? I remember, I remember the interviews. I went to an interview at, I think it was a spa, to be a receptionist and all of that. And truly, funnily enough, I got the job. But I was told to resume, but I just felt like, I really want to go this mile. One of the, should I say, the scenarios I can never forget was, I went for another interview, but this time it was a pharmacy, right? And the owner of the pharmacy there, we spoke, and I remember when we were speaking, I just told I was bargaining with him, like, okay, sir, because apparently he had already accepted the start, we had already discussed amount and all of that. It was cool. But I told him, is it possible for me to close earlier on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Can I close maybe like say 5? Normally I was supposed to close at 7. Can I close at say 5? I need to go and tutor some people. Can you imagine the country? You are coming to, an interview and you are bargaining. But I guess I did so well because the man was willing to. He was even trying to look at, oh, you know what? I didn't think it was 6 p.m. I would have allowed it, If it was 6 p.m. Can't you do 6 p.m.? I said, 6 p.m. is too late. And 5 p.m. is still okay. At least I'll be able to cover ground. He's like, it now struck him in that way. This one, you are still so passionate about holding on to your tutorial classes. Why are you so still passionate about holding on to those your teams and all of that? He said, I just want to, I met these children a while back. We started taking them, and I feel like I'm somewhat attached to them, and I'm just so passionate about knowing how they go, or should I say knowing the next steps for them. I just want to be in that picture. He said, so wow, I thought I was expecting you to say, oh, you needed additional money. I said, additional money is not as if the money I was earning was that much anyways, but I just really love to teach them. He told me something that day that when I sat back down, went back and I thought it through, I was like, there's no need to even bother. He said, see, sister, this one already tells me what I need to know. You still belong in the classroom. Don't kid yourself. Don't waste your time. Don't stress yourself searching for. Funnily enough, you are doing so well, and your personality is so bright and colorful and cheerful. You'll make a wonderful receptionist. I would totally love to have you here. But if I get you in this place, I will be taking away a gem from the classroom, and I want you to go back. You really need to actually go back to the classroom. That is where your heart is. And I sat down and I thought this through. From a stranger. This is somebody I've never met. From a stranger telling me this, then I really need to go and do a serious reassessment. When I got it through, I was like, okay, this is really it for me. If a stranger should actually be telling me this, then this is it. And then I started searching out, I got my job. But do you know one thing? When I decided to intentionally go back to the classroom, one thing that I would say, one resolve I made was, that I would not be like the teachers who taught me, because I feel like they introduced a ton of fear about learning to me. I always say this, education as it was, I'm talking some 10 years ago, is not what it is now. Back then, learning in general was presented with so much fear, intimidation. Teachers were seen as the be-all, do-all, infallible. They were seen as the one carrying the whole knowledge. Like you're coming to share it in class and all of that. And it's either you do their way, or the highway. So I didn't want to be those people. I didn't want to be those people who made me so frightened about learning, so restricted about things I learned. And I made a resolve. I didn't want to be those people. In fact, I want to make puppies enjoy learning. I want to make them excited about learning. I want to give them what I didn't think I had. I want to give them that experience that I never had in the classroom. I want them to come to the classroom every morning, not crying, kicking and screaming. I want them to come excited, happy to see their teacher, their friends, and then excited to learn. And that was what brought the dream and my vision for my foundation, Yearn to Learn, because that's exactly what I am about. I just want to see children yearn to learn, explore learning with happiness, with excitement, and that thought alone created my fun learning shenanigans. I call it shenanigans and activities, right? That thought alone is what drives me every day when I go into the classroom to teach, and I'm like, how do I how do I make learning exciting for these people today? How do I craft this topic or this whatever? How do I make my space inviting enough? This thought alone drives me, honestly, every single day. And I kid you not, every single day. So that has been my journey. And I'll also say, permit me to add, I skipped this. When I got into my present place of employment, I also connected with someone. She was my mentor. God rest her soul. She passed on about 2 years ago. She's called the Happy Teacher. I don't know if you've come across her on I'll say she was the last straw right now. When I watched, she was a consultant for my school, right? And she came in, I came into the school, I met her as a consultant, and then throughout the trainings we usually have workshops and all of that. She will continue to encourage us. She inspired me a lot. She made me realize that teaching, there's so much gain to teaching, apart from the should I say, the satisfaction of teaching, touching lives, impacting, molding children, and all of that. There is also a lot of gain, and as teachers, we cannot be mediocre, we cannot be small, we cannot be poor. She was very on about different ways. In fact, she was one of the ones she was one of those mentors that opened my eyes to ways that educators can actually make impact and make income. Because it's not enough to just make impact or be passionate. Is your passion foiling? Is it foiling income? Is it actually bringing in income? Because any passion that doesn't pay you, it will definitely eventually die. That is the truth. So she opened my eyes to see a lot of ways. When she spoke to us, I saw that joy and happiness in her. She exuded a lot of joy, happiness, despite what she was passing through, which at that time we didn't even know, right? She exuded so much joy, happiness. You always said something that teaching was a happy place. And I got inspired. And I remember I was like, oh, I want to be like this lady, obviously. And that was the birth of the Jolly Teacher brand, right? I was like, oh, I want to be the happy teacher, but I don't want to be the happy teacher. She is the happy teacher. I don't want to take that away from her. But I want to be also, I also want to bring happiness into my space. So, and that was the birth of that name, Jolly Teacher. Jolly, happy, Jolly, happy. And ever since, I've just been thinking of ways to embody that name, bring joy into my people's learning experience, create quality learning experience, you know, just, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just to help my learners enjoy the learning process, you know. And funny enough, whenever, the truth is, like I said, I do these things to help my learners experience what I did not experience. So it's also very fun for me whenever I teach, using all of the fun strategies and all of that. Seeing them happy also makes me happy, you know. And in the process, I'm also having fun because wow, I wish. And sometimes in my head, I go, I wish, you know, learning was presented to me in this way. I obviously and probably would have turned out better, but it is what it is. What it is, like I say, it is what it is. When one wakes up, one what morning. So yeah, so that's basically it. It's been a journey of learning, unlearning, relearning, discovery, and all of that. But in all, I am grateful. The opportunity to impact life is one thing I'm grateful for every day. It's not, I don't take it for granted at all. I don't take it for granted. I really thank you for the opportunity to share this today.
Wow. Thank you very much. That was so effective. You mentioned a lot of things, like the way you were taught, the way you were tutored while growing up made you hate learning. But today, you are doing something different. You are tutoring in a different way and inspiring the next generation, inspiring younger children to see learning differently so that they are excited to want to learn. They are excited to want to be in the learning space. Wow, thank you very much. You also mentioned how the happy teacher. Yes, I know Temitope, and recently I saw a picture that it took during one event that she had, I think in 2018 or so. And I saw that, and then I think it was in 2017, because then I wasn't in the classroom yet. I was still, like, I was going to the classroom and all that. So I just went for the line, event and all that. And truly, she was part of the inspiration that, okay, let me even try out this classroom thing. Because I met her at a summer program where I volunteered. We were all volunteers. She also volunteered and all that. So we met there and then we got talking and all that and shared ideas. And that was how I got into the classroom. Yeah. So when you mentioned that she was the happy teacher and your connection with her was what brought the Jolly Teacher. Yes. So you can see how your connection with someone that gives a picture of what you want to be or what you inspire that learning should be like, made you bring out that thing that has always been in you that you didn't know how to express and you didn't know how to introduce it to the world and all that. So your connection with that happy teacher made you bring out that thing. And today everybody is happy for it. You are the Jolly Teacher. You bring joy and fun into the learning space. And your learners are glad to have you because you make them happy to want to learn.
That's the goal.
And then you also mentioned something about impact and income. It's not enough to make impact. It's not enough to earn income, but it has to come together, because if you're just making impact and you're not earning income that is commensurate with your impact, then you will get burnout, right? So it's very, very important in your own journey you learn. So now somebody that is coming into the space will also learn that it's not enough to be passionate about teaching. Yes, you are passionate about teaching. You want to inspire the next generation. You want to impact them. You want to give what you know and all that. But then your impact should measure up to your income. Because if your income is not measuring up to your impact, then there's no balance, and that will obviously affect your productivity in the long run, which will also affect your influence. You'll not be able to influence as many people as you would love to. And you also mentioned something about starting. It's still related to this impact and income. Now, when you started in a small school and all that, as much as you were in that space, you didn't just go there, you were also learning from it. So the idea of learning from the environment where you are is very, very important. You may know something, but there's something in that environment that is there for you to learn from.
Absolutely.
This is very, very important for upcoming teachers. Like, you can't just be in a space and okay, I know it, this is how I want to do it and all that. What is your environment teaching you? That's another question to ask yourself. What can I learn from this environment? Whatever environment you find yourself, there's something to learn from it. It's your ability to identify that will take you to the next level. Because when you were able to identify some of those things, it helps you in the next phase of your career, and it helps you in the next phase. You're able to use those things. Even talking about the chance competition, you can imagine that the learning at that point was for the children for the people. But you were interested, and you showed interest, and you were learning from it. And at the end of the day, now you are tutoring others because you showed interest with something, and you're also earning from it at the same time now. So you can imagine that so many lessons to learn from this. Very, very important. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to share with us as part of your story before we wrap up for today. Like, a lot of people have been commenting, a lot of people have been joining. Someone said this is a very network is poor, but well done. This is an amazing initiative. A lot of people have been liking and giving thumbs up to everything that you're saying. Like, you can imagine if we didn't even have to start it. This story of yours wouldn't have gone out, would have inspired somebody. You can imagine that we are remembering the happy teachers today, and like you've encountered out a different level. I've also encountered out a different level. So it's very, very important when we come out and say our stories. You know, when you also mentioned how you went to the place for a receptionist or secretary job, and then the man said, your mind is still, when you were trying to negotiate how to leave earlier, said your mind. That also made me to remember when I just started job hunting, and I never wanted to be in the classroom, even though I studied education. And then
everything kept pointing back.
Yes, everything was pointing back. During my youth service, I didn't serve in a school, I didn't teach in a school and all that. I was in the ministry, in science and tech ministry in Enugu. But then the person in charge of the corpus there was always saying to me, you need to go back to the classroom. You need to go to the classroom. I was just like, why is this man praying for me? Yeah, like it was like it was a taboo and all that. And then yes, see me today, I'm back to the classroom. So you can imagine things like that. You're running away from
as much as you want to. you always be where you are supposed to be.
Yes, exactly. So there is no hiding. There's no hiding. It's just to identify what God has called you to do in all of it. God has called you to do something. So it's your ability to identify it quite early. So now, quickly, before we move on, sorry please, let me share with everyone your program. I know you have a program for teachers. This coming up on the 24th.
Yeah, 24th.
I believe.
Yeah.
This yes. All right. So this is an exciting elementary teacher. So she's coming up with a program for teachers. Are you frustrated with putting in so much effort in your students and seeing little results? Are you that teacher that you've been putting in so much effort and you're not seeing the results that you want? Are you tired of seeking for ways to make your students actively participate in class? The Jolly Teacher is calling you. She's here to show you the things that you need to do. Or are you students always struggling to remember what you are taught and then can barely apply them to real life situations? Or are you stressed out of constantly racking your brains to come up with a lesson plan for your students, for your subject? There is a challenge for you. It's coming up in the Jolly Teachers WhatsApp platform. So please do go to our handle and click on it and join that challenge. Once they're up to 200 teachers, no more space. You don't want the dog to be locked out for you. Are you going to wait till the last moment? Don't be like the 5 foolish virgins that wait until the very end. Don't be like those. Be like the 5 wise virgins that add extra oil. So go on to our page, click on the link and join our WhatsApp group for the program. It's going to be 5 days of learning things that we are done with the first week of school. What next?
Absolutely.
Now is not the time to stay. Now is the time to keep moving and keep moving. You need to move. You need to be on the move. So go quickly and join our page and click on that link to join the WhatsApp group for the 5 days challenge, and you will be glad that you did that. All right, thank you, Jolly Teacher. Please just give us your final words so that we will not keep you for too long here. You've had me on your program and and now I'm having you again. It's been a long day, but I just
it has. But let me also comment. Let me also say that. I remember when you told me about this program, talking about my story, and in trying to prepare, I was like, what should I say? In my mind, I was like, is there any need to prepare this? This is the story that, has always been burning within me to share. Is there any need to start taking note of what to say and what not to say? In fact, if you give me an hour, if you give me 2 hours, I can keep talking, right? Because it's just what it is. That's a passion for me. And in saying this, becoming a Jolly Teacher, trying to make sure that my pupils enjoy learning, I also stumbled on, should I say, a teaching methodology that has worked for me. And, I'll say that it has really taken my classroom instructions, and that's also taken participation, engagement, and the babangla of them all, which is the pupils' performance, skyrocketed it from 50% to at least an 80%, and it's a methodology that I will hit my chest in confidence and say will work for any classroom, and that is the fun learning teaching strategy, because I believe strongly that fun is one thing that is common for all children or all learners or everybody in general. There's nobody that doesn't like fun, and there's no child that doesn't like fun. If there are children that doesn't like fun, why then cartoon companies, animated companies, video games companies, why are they selling out? They're still selling out because this is the language that children understand. Fun, enjoyment, excitement, right? And then I kind of like, I discovered raw gold when I discovered that one of the best ways to actually teach children is by infusing your learning or your lessons around excitement or fun activity. Why? Because it cuts across everything. Children who are hyper, they love to have fun. Children who have learning difficulties, they love to have fun. Slow learners, late bloomers, what have you, they all love to have fun. So imagine now using that language that they love to speak to teach them. You are definitely assured that you will not only grab their attention, sustain it, you will also get them to engage with the learning process and eventually improve their retention habit of hoarding strategies, right? When I see something new, I just keep it to myself, and I just told myself, not anymore. I cannot be enjoying these fruits from all of this and just keeping it to myself. I want more, especially elementary teachers, because I believe that generally in the world right now, teachers, especially preschool teachers, have come to that. It seems like the world has come to an agreement that fun and excitement and the playway method actually works in the preschool department or in the preschool section. But it seems like when they get to elementary, there's this standing rule of order that that's enough playing. You are now in elementary. End of play. Now it's time to be serious. Am I saying that should not actually end with the preschool, or should not end in the preschool? We can still infuse fun and play into our instructions in the classroom. And I know when teachers hear fun, especially elementary teachers, they think of going outside playing in the playground. No, I'm talking about teaching and then having fun. I'm not talking about going outside. I'm not talking about actually going to the playground, right? Because whenever they hear that, the first question they tell me is, what time do we have? Do we have the time for that? We have so many things to cover and all of that. I'm talking about intentional play, infusing play into the things that you're already doing, infusing fun into the things you're already doing. So join us on this 5-day exciting elementary teacher challenge. I targeted elementary teachers squarely, or should I say majorly, but does that mean that preschool teachers cannot join it? No. Does that mean that secondary teachers cannot join it? Absolutely not. Just click on my bio and then teacher. You see the link boldly written 5-day exciting elementary teacher challenge. Click on it, join the community. They kick off on the 25th of September. It's a 5-day long challenge where you get prompts, activities to take action on. I know I said this before and I'm repeating it again. If you are going to join and you are not intending to take action, please avoid us. Avoid the group, avoid the link, avoid me, because action is the only language we're speaking in that group, right? So click on the link. If you are willing to take action, if you know that you have a mindset, your mindset is a flexible one, and you are willing to learn the strategies that have worked for me. It's tested, proven, trusted. You can check my timeline, you see so many activities and all of that, so it works for me. And I want to share this. It's free, absolutely free. I didn't mention that, I said it's absolutely free. Please join us, and you can join as soon as now, like right now. Don't wait till the 25th, because there's so many early arrival bonus trainings that we're going to be having in this week. So don't miss out. Please and please and please. Elementary teacher, it is for you. Preschool teacher that loves to and wants to, you can also join in. Secondary teachers that loves to and wants to too can also join in. In the end, I'll say that the four eyes that guides me is that I love to incite my learners, I love to inspire them, I love to make impact, and eventually the goal at the end of the day is to influence as many people as possible, teachers, pupils, parents, what have you. So these are the things and the precepts that I live by. Thank you very much, Millionaire Teacher, for this awesome opportunity to appear here and share this with you. So honored. I feel so honored and excited. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The honor is mine. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your experience with us, sharing your journey and your story with us, and inspiring us to become more and not to just sit down on whatever. At the beginning, there were challenges, but see where you are today. If you had allowed those challenges to take over your emotions and all that, to not be where you are today. So just imagine that. So thank you very much. Thank you for pushing. Thank you for being that light, for shining your light, so that the world will see and glorify your heavenly Father. Thank you very much. We are so glad to have you. And thank you for your 4 eyes, for your 4 eyes that are pushing. Yes. And now I need to also mention this 5 days challenge is not just for teachers alone. From all you've said, I've seen how parents can benefit from it. Absolutely. Right? Parents can actually benefit from it. So it's not just for teachers alone. If you're a parent, I've seen some people that have joined that are not teachers, and they're like, oh, this does not concern. No. If you're a parent, you can actually benefit from it. I'm encouraging you. click on that link and join, and you will be better off from this. All right. Thank you very much. It
Absolutely.
was a
Thank
pleasure
you for
having
the
you
team. Enjoy
today.
yourself.
I look
Have
forward
a
to
great.
having you share more of your stories around
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
inspire.
Have a wonderful rest of the day. So good to be here. Welcome.